All right, today we're going to review our EOC page 1, which is the standard that I just highlighted. This is mostly from section 1 of Math Nation that we covered at the beginning of the year. So let's get started. Fill in the blanks. A blank is a number, variable, or product of a number and variables. That here is talking about a monomial. A polynomial is one or more monomials which are added or subtracted. When you add, subtract, or multiply polynomials, they are closed, which means the exponents are positive whole numbers. So what that means is that polynomials are open under division. And that's because we wouldn't end up with positive whole numbers for exponents. And the key here is what our exponents are going to be. So that's pretty much guaranteed to be one question on the EOC, is when are polynomials closed? And that's for addition, subtraction, and multiplication. All right, moving on. Number 4, we need to add the polynomials. So here we're going to look for our like terms, which is 2x squared and negative x squared. So that's going to become x squared. Then we have a positive 3x and a positive 7x. We're going to add those two together and we get plus 10x. And then we have a negative 5 and a positive 2. Well, negative 5 plus 2 is going to be negative 3. Looking at number 5, we have 4xy minus 2y plus 9xy squared plus 6xy. The only two terms that are alike here are my x and y terms. I cannot combine an xy with a y, and I cannot combine an xy with an xy squared. So 4xy plus 6xy, I'm going to get 10xy. I'm going to put this 9xy squared first because it needs to be in degree order. So I have 9xy squared plus 10xy minus 2y for number 5. In number 7, we are going to multiply our polynomials. So I need to multiply that first term times every term inside the parentheses. When I multiply 4x times 2x squared, I'm going to get 8x cubed. When I multiply 4x times 3x, I'm going to get a positive 12x. When I multiply 4x times negative 5, I'm going to get negative 20. Then I need to multiply these two binomials together. And when we did this in class, we taught you to use the area model. Okay, so we're going to have 2x plus 3 along the top. And we're going to have x minus 5 along the side. When I multiply 2x times x, I'm going to get 2x squared. X times 3, I'm going to get a positive 3x. Negative 5 times 2x, and I'll have a negative 10x. Negative 5 times positive 3 is a negative 15. When I pull that all out, I'm going to have a 2x squared. I can combine my positive 3x and my negative 10x. So I'm going to have a negative 7x and then negative 15. And that is my answer. When I multiply those two binomials together, that's the new polynomial that I get. Oh, I missed number 6, which was subtract the polynomials. Okay, number 6, I need to subtract these polynomials. And when you're subtracting a polynomial, what you really want to do is distribute that negative to every term inside the parentheses first. So a negative, it's like having a negative 1 outside the parentheses, and you're multiplying that negative 1 times every term inside the parentheses. So negative 1 times negative x squared is going to be a positive x squared. Negative 1 times a positive 7x will be negative 7x. And negative 1 times positive 2 is going to be a negative 2. Then I still have my 2x squared plus 3x minus 5, and then I just need to combine my like terms. So I have an x squared and an x squared. So I'm going to have 3x squared, because 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Make that 2 a little neater. Then I'm going to have 3x minus 7x. Well, 3x minus 7x is going to be a negative 4x. And then I have negative 5 and negative 2. Negative 5 minus 2 more is going to be negative 7. All right. Moving along to number 9. What is the perimeter of the quadrilateral shown below? Remember that perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side. So we're just adding all of these binomials together. So we're going to take this 2x plus 5, and then we need to add x squared minus 3x. I'm going to zoom in so I can have a little bit more room. All right, so 2x plus 5. Then I'm going to add x squared minus 3x. Then I'm going to add 4x squared plus 2x. And then I'm going to add x squared minus 6. Okay, those are all of the terms. I'm just adding them all together. So I'm going to find my like terms. I've got a 2x, and I'm going to add or subtract 3x, so I have negative x. Plus 2x gives me a 1x. So I have 1x. I'm going to look at my x squareds next. I have a positive x squared, which is just 1x squared, plus 4x squared, plus another x squared is 6x squared. So I have 6x squared plus x. Then I have a positive 5 and a negative 6. So my final answer is negative 1. So 6x squared plus x minus 1. I made sure to put this in degree order, which just means I'm going to put my highest exponent first and then down to my constant. My constant should always be listed last. In question number 10, I'm looking for the area. And the area of a rectangle is always going to be length times width. Well, my length is here, my width is here, so I just have to multiply those two terms together. And I can do that using an area model. And since I'm running out of space, I'm just going to put the area model inside my rectangle. So I'm going to have x minus 5 and 4x plus 2, and then multiply those together. 4x times x is 4x squared. I realize that's somewhat hard for you to see. So 4x squared. X times 2 is a positive 2x. 4x times negative 5 is a negative 20x. And negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So when I pull those out, I'm going to get 4x squared. I can combine my negative 20x and my positive 2x, and I'm going to get a negative 18x, and then I have my minus 10. All right, our last question for EOC number 1 is Emily realizes that the expression x squared plus 4x plus 3 can be written many equivalent ways. Select all of the expressions below that are equivalent. All right, so we're looking at x squared plus 4x plus 3. And we can write that in factored form, right? If we have x squared plus 4x plus 3, we can factor it completely by taking our a term, which is 1, and multiplying it by our c term, which is 3. And so we're going to put that in the top of our x puzzle. And then we take our b term, which is equal to 4, and put that in the bottom. So what are the factors of 3 that add together to give me 4? Well, that's just 1 and 3. So this will factor to x plus 1 and x plus 3. Well, there's your first answer. I can also rewrite this same equation by factoring out an x first. So if I factor out an x from x squared plus 3, then I would be left with x plus 4 plus 3. And that is not the same thing as that second option, because the x squared inside the parentheses and the x with the 4 would make that x cubed and 4x squared. All right. Looking at our third option. Well, let's see if we subtract those two terms, what we would get. Well, if we had 2x squared minus x squared, we're going to end up with, and I'm going to use a different color here. I have 2x squared minus x squared, so I'm going to end up with x squared. I have a positive 5x minus x, and I'm going to have plus 4x. And then I have negative 3 minus 6 minus a negative 6. So when I subtract a negative, that's really adding. Negative 3 plus 6 is going to be plus 3. So that is another option that would be correct. If you look at our fourth option here, x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 1, well, you should be able to see that 4 times 1 is going to equal 4. And that's not the same thing as our positive 3 constant, so that is going to be wrong. And then we're going to look at this fourth option here. And I will use one more color. Let's go with purple. We have x squared plus 5x plus 2, and we are adding x minus 1. Well, there's nothing to combine the x squared to. 5x plus x will be plus 6x. And then positive 2 and negative 1 is going to be plus 1. That is not the same as our original expression. So we can go ahead and cross that out as well. So our two solutions here are x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 1 into x squared plus 5x minus 3 minus x squared plus x minus 6. All right, that is it for your EOC review number 1. I'll see you next time for EOC review page 2.